Hi, my name is Ciara Marcum, and today my presentation is going to be over how microbeads are affecting our environment. So let's begin by talking about what microbeads are. Microbeads are the microplastics that are found inside common everyday items. You often see them in things such as toothpaste, body wash, and shampoo. In toothpaste, they're used as breath enhancers, and in body wash and shampoo, people often use them as skin exfoliants for your scalp or just for your skin in general. These are certain common products that you can find at just about any store, and that's what makes them so detrimental. Is look at the large amount of microplastics that are found inside each of these. That is extremely alarming because they can be bought by anybody. They can be bought by any consumer at any store, just about. You see them in Walmart, you see them in grocery stores, you see them in places like Dollar General. So we need to talk about how they're small but mighty, how they do damage to our aquatic life, and how to get rid of them. Small but mighty. Microbeads are only 0.3 to 1.01 millimeters in size, which means they're extremely small. And you would think that that wouldn't make such a large impact, but in fact they do. The American Chemical Society conducted an experiment back in 2013 regarding microbeads in the Great Lakes. They took a test sample over Lake Erie and found that 1,500 to 1.7 million microbeads were found in every square mile of the Great Lakes. Here's a picture of whenever they were doing this research. A lady literally just stuck her hand inside of sand and found tons of microbeads sitting. And the thing is, it's not just affecting our environment. It's not just affecting the United States. In Hong Kong, Fu Chung and Lincoln Falk conducted an experiment on the microbeads that were affecting their environment. They found that there were two different types of microbeads that were found 50 kilometers apart. They were entirely different in color and size, and so they concluded that these were found from two different areas, but that they were also different types, which means that our microbeads have been spreading so wildly that they're going into different environments. Damage to our aquatic life. Humans think that by making these decisions, they're only impacting themselves. But in fact, the Convention of Biological Diversity conducted an experiment in 2012 which proved that 663 species have already been impacted by microplastics in our environment. And that's an entirely wild number now because we are in 2018, 6 years later, and microbeads are at the highest rate that they've ever been. Lorena Rio conducted an experiment with her colleagues against the Great Lakes and the Southern Atlantic Ocean. They found that 24% more microplastics were found in the Great Lakes and the Southern Atlantic Ocean, which is extremely detrimental to the environment because the Great Lakes have such smaller fish that the amount of microplastics found there are entirely toxic to them. And because of that, they can be passed on to tertiary and secondary consumers, which means that they could eventually enter our own food chain. H2O Designs did a political statement over microplastics in our environment. They staged this image of a fish, just your average fish, and its stomach having tons of microbeads inside. This is obviously fake, this isn't real, but this is trying to put sense into the reality of what our fish are actually eating because it looks like fish food. And it's really, really common that they're found at the bottom of fish's stomachs. This is a video that was conducted about our plastic ocean, and it's really just an emotional video that talks about how 1 million and more animals are dying from plastic debris every year. video is significant because not only is it talking about how this is affecting smaller fish, which is usually what people are thinking of whenever they're thinking of infecting the environment, but how they are also affecting larger fish and how eventually our fish could become endangered or even extinct because of the plastic debris in our environment. My third point is how we can get rid of them, how we can prevent all of this from happening. The main thing that you need to realize is don't become a consumer. In 2015, May, the Microbead Free Waters Act of 2015 was passed by Congress. This is significant because it was supposed to be implemented in 2018, January. Now you can still see regular products with microbeads inside them, which is extremely alarming because it hasn't been put into effect yet. You have a few companies like Johnson & Johnson who, as soon as this act was passed, completely regarded it and got rid of all of the PCBs and all the DDTs, which are the toxic chemicals in microbeads, and got rid of them from their products. But the best way that you can avoid all of this happening is by avoiding these products and avoiding all of the microbeads that are inside of our just our everyday hygiene products. Today I covered how microbeads, what they are, how they're infecting our environment, and how you can avoid becoming a consumer of them by educating others, educating yourself, and by honestly just avoiding things like this. You don't think that you could make a huge impact, but you really could. Again, my name is Ciara Marcum, and thank you so much for watching my presentation on microbeads.